Have you ever wondered how Gabriel Soma would play as himself in the Entity's realm? Well, look no further. I found out how. Hello everybody, Vigo Shadow here, and welcome to the Survivor Strategies, a guide how to play exactly like how the Survivor would. In today's episode, we will be playing as Gabriel Soma.
It was supposed to help us build a safer home, but something happened, and it won't stop until we are dead.
Since there's not much of a difference playing as other survivors besides noise and appearance, we will analyze the survivor's bio and their perks to get a better understanding on the type of playstyle the survivor would inhabit. Alright, now it's time to dig a little deeper. I'll be highlighting a few things in the bio as well as the portrait for Gabriel Soma, and I took a look through all of the bio, and it doesn't really give us a whole lot as to Gabriel's character, other than the fact that there's some cool key notes in there that Gabriel was bred in a cloning lab, and he was cloned. He was not born like in the traditional way. So that's also really unique. So they filled his consciousness with childhood memories, and it was just implanted within Gabriel. The rest of the lore is like pretty much him going against Hux, the killer counterpart to this character, the Singularity. It was going up against the rogue Hux machine. That was the rest of this lore here. There's not much to dig in the bio, so we're going to mainly be relying on the portrait and the perks. So if we go to the portrait here, it says Gabriel Soma, a resourceful engineer, key term, ready to make the most out of any situation. His perks allow him to see things during a chase, gain endurance after healing survivors, and recharge his toolbox. So yeah, not a whole lot from the bio, but the portrait does give us quite a bit of information there. Now let's move on to the perks. Alright, next we're going to go over the survivor's base perks to see if there's any more clues as to how Gabriel would play. These are his perks after all. So we're going to get right into it. We have Troubleshooter. While chased by the killer, you see the aura of the generator with the most progress. Whenever you drop a pallet, you see the killer's aura for 6 seconds. When the killer stops chasing you, this ends after 10 seconds. Nothing gets done around here if I don't do it, Gabriel Soma. That is such a key term right there that we're going to definitely be dissecting. Made for this. While injured, whenever you finish healing another survivor, you gain endurance for 10 seconds. While you have deep wound, you gain 3% haste. I didn't come here to be robot food, Gabriel Soma. Alright, so there's that, and then we have Scavenger. While repairing and while your toolbox is empty, whenever you hit a great basic skill check, you earn 1 token. When you have 5 tokens, spend them all, your toolbox is recharged instantly. You repair 50% slower for 30 seconds. You can rummage chests 1 time. The first time you rummage a chest, it will contain an uncommon toolbox. It's amazing what people will throw away around here, Gabriel Soma. And that concludes Gabriel's perks. We're going to be dissecting them a little bit more here in the playstyle section. After reading around, we now know the playstyle that Gabriel would gravitate towards the most. I pulled up an image that references various other playstyles, and after what we know, I decided that he fits into the industrious category the most. Now this is mainly because of what we know due to the portrait, which is they call him a resourceful engineer, so that's kind of like part of the reason, and then mainly his perks and what they're trying to achieve. Now his scavenger perk, basically in order to get full utilization off of it, we've already went through all the perks, so we're going to be emptying toolboxes, hitting great skill checks, and then he has 2 other perks that involve him being in a chase of the killer and taking the heat. One for healing somebody and then getting hit and then getting a speed bonus, and the other for taking the killers away from gens that are really progressed, and also seeing them around loops to extend the chase. So yes, his playstyle is going to be a mix of killer and gens, but the overall preference on gens getting done, whether it's by him or the team. And that's kind of where Gabriel's playstyle falls in. Now that we know what type of playstyle Gabriel favors, we can now establish what Gabriel's priorities are. In Dead by Daylight, there are 4 categories. Within these categories, we can understand what the survivor deems as a priority based on what we know. Now, Gabriel's main priority would be cut between a couple of them, but I'm going to narrow it down to one. And I'm going to say that his main priority is to be in the objective or the light bringer category. He needs to repair generators, and with the quotations, we need to escape. That is the main objective. This guy is very objective focused. Whether it's taking the killer's attention away so that the generators could get done, or just doing them himself. His perks really back that up as well. You could argue that it's like the boldness or evader category because of how much of his perks, how much he benefits from actually distracting the killer. You could argue that, but like I think behind those perks, his main priority is to repair the generators and get out. Not so much evading the killer, but the main goal in mind is to get out by doing the generators. So that's where we narrow it down to that. All right, let's move on to a couple things before we enter our match. All right, before we do our match, we're going to go over a couple things and a little bit of recap for those who have missed it. First off, we're going to get every one of these perks to activate Troubleshooter, Made for This, and Scavenger in the trial. Second, we're going to be playing just like Gabriel would, either taking the killer's attention or doing the gens ourselves. Fairly simple gameplay, but like getting on gens right away, priority. Killer chases us, we take him away from the gen with the most progress. Easy. All right, and then secondly, we're also going to have the main priority in mind, which would be gens. And that's as simple as that. Let's get right into our match. All right, we were playing on Gas Haven, Auto Haven Wreckers as Gabriel Soma. So now the first thing we're going to do is we actually have a chest right here. We could just back pocket this toolbox that we have currently, but why waste up the opportunity when we have a chest right here? Of course, it's a key. We can at least see it and channel it, see where our other survivors are. So they're all right over there. We could take that. We could rummage through this, though. And at least get that toolbox, that uncommon toolbox that we're promised with the rummage. Okay. All right, we're going to probably just dump this entire thing on this gen right here. And then we're going to try to get some stacks of Scavenger while we're at it. Unfortunately, like the great skill checks do not count if the toolbox is not depleted. So now we can start making some progress on these gens, while still counting stacks of Scavenger once we hit a great skill check. That's why this one's really tough to kind of like actually get it to activate. All right, we actually get one token there with a great skill check. That was actually kind of a quick one too. We see where the killer hooked Nancy, so we have to kind of like watch out because I did see a hex too. It might be a lullaby, so that might actually disrupt our flow with some of this. I think it's the Wraith. We're still going to try to stick to gens as much as we can. The killer is chasing both of them, it seems, or like has both of them in his sights. Okay, another skill check with Scavenger. I think we still clear it and finish this gen. That's going to be nice. Okay. Oh, okay, I think he may have expected me to vault the window. Yep. Okay. Then there's his hex down there. I don't see a pallet right now. If we do get him to swing, we can actually drop this pallet and track his moves. We want him to get away from that generator that's right there. I was going to go ahead and go for it, but looks like they get it done anyway. Impressive. Okay, cool. All right, we can try to pour our attention into something on the middle gens now because we already got that one. We want to save like the corner ones. So let's try something a little bit more difficult so you can try to pour that toolbox into. Looks like Yunjin actually has the same idea as well. Damn. Still trying to go for those skill checks as much as I can without trying to really hurt the other survivor. Okay, there we go. Third skill check there. We need 2 more in order to actually get this toolbox fully up to snuff, but we don't get it. Ruin is up, actually. And I think we did see where that one went. So let's go ahead and cleanse that totem while we're at it. Because we do know where that totem is. Actually, Nia might have already found that. They might have Undying, though. That's the... Yep, that was exactly where it was, too. Let's just get on this generator because I don't think he's going to know. I don't want to finish this one. I just kind of want to see if I can get another skill check in there. Okay. We can go ahead and heal. Looks like he had Undying as well, so we're going to be also looking for another totem. But I think I'll let the other survivors look through the totem. I am mainly going to be focusing on Gabriel's priority, which is going to be the gens. Or taking the killer away. Looks like he's on Nancy for sure, so a lot of attention there. All right, let's at least stop the regression here. Oh, wow. Did she actually lose him? I'm hoping for another skill check, please. Okay. Yeah, he knows that this gen that we're working on is very, very crucial. Okay, let's just throw it. We do stun him with it. We can see where he's going. We know where he's going to dash to. Oh, just a little bit. Kind of cuts it off. Okay. He'll break that pallet. Yeah, he's going to be really heavily patrolling, so we got to really watch out as well. I could try to get my toolbox completely replenished if I hit this gen. They already got rid of Shack Pallet, so we're already losing a lot of material. There we go. We get Scavenger to activate. We actually have a lot of value off of that now. That gets cleansed. Okay, Nancy gets hit. They're still ruined, so he must have had like different hexes. Definitely he has more of a totem build for sure. That totem just got broken. Since they are working on a generator like that, we're going to just try to dump this entire toolbox onto that gen as much as we can. Damn, she goes in the basement. That's actually really, really tough for us. But we at least get rid of all of this toolbox. I fear, yeah. Okay, we get hit. Did not feel good. Okay, he might commit. He might commit, actually. Okay, we still get the stun off. Kind of want to lead him away from this gen, but we're kind of being pushed towards the gen. Alright, he's going to go for another dash here, another mad dash. Okay. Alright, I can probably go towards the gas station now, because that's the whole point of Troubleshooter. He just used his power. So we can lead him away. Okay, very good utilization of his power right there. Okay, he's going to try to get us again. Oof, somehow we made it. Okay, he's going to go for it again. I might be able to get it again. Alright, we trap him in here. He thought I might have been going for the window again. We'll stun him here with that pallet. That'll be good material for us. We could probably stun him again. Alright. Yeah, he's probably really, really pissed off at this point. I know I'd be. Okay, yeah, let's just kind of like make sure we're good. I still haven't used Made for this yet. We want to... Oh, wow. Okay. He left. All right, he left the trial. He DC'd. Ooh, I still want to count that, though. I really still want to count that as my game here. Damn, okay. All right, so here's what we'll do. Because I've played many matches with Gabriel Soma and have not had the best of luck, I'm going to play a separate clip where I actually got made for this to activate really well. So I'm going to play that right now. And there's 2 ways to activate it. One of the ways you can activate made for this that can do pretty well is if you just get unhooked. You have that endurance, because anytime you get hit with endurance with that effect, you're going to have 3% haste, and I was able to make use of that in some of my other games. And that's how you can use that. Otherwise, you can use it in very clutch moments when you get people up off of the ground. And when you get them up off the ground, then you can, or if you just finish a heal, you can still get that endurance and that 3% haste as well. It's just very situational with that perk for sure. But anyway, that is how you play Gabriel Soma in Dead by Daylight. Thanks for watching. Vigo, signing off.